the code you might have, whatever you have written might be correct only, but do not worry about that one. In the real time, and to be frank, we never get any MS Access files. Okay, you'll get
Okay, sir.
Excel sheets, CSV files. Okay, since in the last class we have completed history and basic rules of SAS, in today's class I'll start with the data step. Anybody knows what you mean by data step? What I mean by a data step? If I start my program with the keyword of data, we call it as a data step. And remember, what are the important reasons why we write the data step?
Data access.
We write the data step for two important reasons. One is for data access,
Data access
and the
and data
second one
management.
is for data management.
Management.
Data access and for data management. Though the main reason, important reasons for the data step is access and management, sometimes we write data step, for a data analysis also. Sometimes we write the data step for data presentation or data reporting. But majorly, the major important reason why we write data step is for data access and data management. And if I say data access, in general, the technical word that we use, why we write the data step, to retrieve the data, to pull the data from its a source location, to pull the data, to retrieve the data, we use the data step. And not only that one, by using data step, we can create new data sets from existing data set. You might have seen that one, if you have a, say, for example, EMP data set, from that EMP, how to create a EMP1 by using a set statement. Isn't it? You have seen that one. And in the same way, you have already seen, when we have a data set, now by writing some assignment statements, we can create new variables and we can assign values in it. And we can also assign values into those variables. So to create new variables and to assign values in it, we use data step. So these are the some of the important reasons why we write the data step. Okay. Now, if you see a typical data step, say for example, here I'm taking few lines of in-stream data. By using that in-stream data, I want to create a data set. Now, here I'm taking few lines of in-stream data. Now, I want to create a data set. Now, you know how to write the program. Now, I'm writing data set name. I want to have a DS1, semicolon. Now, I'm writing in file. Since we have in-stream data, you should write the data lines, or you can also write the cards. I'm writing in file data lines. Then after that, I'm writing the input statement. In the input statement, I'm writing variables ID. I want to have a name variable. It is a character variable, so dollar symbol. Then I want to have an age variable. Then I want to have a sex variable, so character variable, dollar symbol. And then I want to have a salary variable. Now keep a semicolon. Now you should write the data lines again. Data lines, semicolon. I told you, as soon as you have written the data lines and semicolon, whatever the in-stream data that we have, the background color of the in-stream data will get changed into yellow. And then finally, what you will write, now we are going to write the run statement. Some programmers, before writing the run statement, they will write the semicolon. You can also write a semicolon, not a problem. Writing semicolon is a most appropriate way of closing the program. Now, without semicolon also, you can write the program, but semicolon will be better to write in a semicolon. So, semicolon and run. And of course, you should write the semicolon after the data only in the next line, and then you should write the run statement. Now, if I select this program and if I execute this program, now in the work library, I'm going to have DS1 data set. In the DS1 data set, we are going to have 5 variables, which are ID, name, age, sex, and salary. And we are going to have 3 observations. Now, this is the data set DS1, 5 variables and 3 observations. And this is a typical data step program. And I told you this semicolon is not mandatory. Without semicolon also we can write the program. Now if I execute this program again, yes, we are going to have a DS1 data set. Now can you see, yes, we have 5 variables and 3 observations.
Sir,
I told you
can I ask
this is
one
a
question?
typical data step. Yes, yes.
Sir, here in the
Yeah, go
data
ahead,
line,
Shruti.
yeah, here in the data lines, we have mentioned 001, 002, and 003. But if we see the data set, it is appearing as 1, 2, and 3 only, na,
Yes.
sir?
Because since we have, when we have a numerical value 001, you will not have a initial zeros any value. That's why you are not getting 0 there. So 001 is nothing but 1 only,
Yes, yes.
So
Okay,
that's
sir.
why it is presenting as a 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Since it's a character data, sorry, since it's a numerical data. But if you write the dollar symbol here, now what is this variable now?
Character.
Character,
It
right?
is character. Yes.
Now, this data can come as a character data, but since you are reading at a character data, now you will get the 001. Because SAS thinks is a character data, it will take initial zeros as it is.
Fine, sir. Yeah.
Understand this one? But anyway,
Yeah.
if you have initial zeros in numerical, you will not have any value. That's why in SAS we are going to have 1 instead of 001 in the data set. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Okay. This is a typical data step. In this, yeah. In this data step, now somebody can tell me how many statements we have. How many statements we have in this program?
5 statements.
5, sir.
5, sir.
How do you know that we have 5 statements?
Ending with
How do you know that we have 5
given, sir.
statements?
3, sir.
Semicolon.
Ending with
End with
Very good.
Semicolon.
So very good. By counting the semicolon, yes. By say yes, very good. By counting the semicolon, you will come to know that how many statements that we have. I started something here. I ended here with a semicolon. This is 1 statement. Again, I started something here. We ended with a semicolon here. This is the another statement, 2nd statement. And I started something here. I ended with a semicolon here. This is the 3rd statement. And I started something here. We ended here with a semicolon. This is the 4th statement. Again, I started something here, ending semicolon. Now this is 1 statement. In this program, we have a total 5 statements. What is a statement? I told you, a statement nothing but an order to do some work, right? It is an instruction or order to do some work. Always a statement starts with a keyword and ends with a semicolon. Here in this scenario, the keyword is a data and it is ending with a semicolon. This is 1 statement. Again, it is starting with the keyword in file and ending with a semicolon. This is 1 statement. And again, here we're starting with a keyword called input, ending with a semicolon. This is the 3rd statement. We started with a keyword, and we have only 1 keyword and ending with a semicolon. This is 1 statement. And finally, this is the 1 statement. Total, we have 5 statements. But what is this step? This is a data step.
Data step.
Remember, okay, we have the data step contains 5 statements, right? Now, this first statement is called as a data statement. So in the data step, we always start a data step with a data statement. So the whole program is a data step. In that, the first statement is called data statement. Okay, and now the second statement is called, since we are starting with the in-file keyword, we call it as an in-file statement. And 3rd statement, we are starting with a keyword called input. Now that is called as an input statement. And the 4th statement, we are starting with a data lines keyword that is called as an data lines statement. And finally, the last statement that we have, which is called as a run statement. So this is a total program is called data step. In a typical data step, we have 5 statements. The first statement is called a data statement. This is the first statement, which is the data statement. And the second statement is in file statement. This is the second statement. Third one is input statement. So this is the third one, input statement. And the fourth one is data line statement. Yes, this is the fourth one. And finally, we have a run statement. That is the fifth statement. Understand this one? Now, in today's class, I am going to start discussing about the data statement. In the next few classes, we are going to discuss about each statement. And by the end of the run statement, it is going to become one topic. So, in today's class, what is the statement that we are going to start discussing now? Data statement. What is data statement? Can you tell me, by seeing this program, why I have written data statement? What is the purpose of a data statement?
Name the data set.
Create that.
Why? What I have written in the data statement? Very good. To specify a data set and name, we write the data statement. To specify a data set and name, to give a data set name, we write the data statement. So the most important reason why we write the data statement in the program, to give data set a name. So that means whatever the name that you have given here, with that name, it will create a data set. So since I have written, I got a data set DS1. But if I say, for example, demo, now what will happen? Now it will create a data set called demo. And if I say, for example, instead of demo, if I add the EMP, now what will happen? Now it will create a data set called EMP. Understand this one? Now, if I specify, say, for instead of EMP, if I add X, what will happen? It will create a data set called X. So that means whatever the name that you have given here, with that name, it will create a data set. Now, can somebody tell me, can I write like this one?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Can I write like this one? Why?
Should not start with the
Why
number.
Why you can't write like that one?
Data set.
You can't start with
Number.
numerical. Be like
You should not start with
numerical
you should
data,
not,
sir. We
you
can't
should
start.
not, yes, sir. Numerical, not numerical variable name or a data set name with a numerical value, with a number.
Yeah.
Understand this one? So you should always start with an alphabet, or you should start with always an alphabet or an underscore.
Understood.
Understood.
Isn't it? Now, the next one is, yes, sir. Now here, whatever I give this, say for example, I'm giving here a data set name Srinivas. Tell me what is going to happen. What is the data set I'm going to have now? I'm going to have a Srinivas.
Srinivas.
So with the name of Srinivas, now it will create a data. It will create a data set called Srinivas. Understand this one? Say for example, as a starter, I'm going to give, today one of our students has an interview, and in that interview, this was the question. Now, can you see this question and answer?
Which one, sir?
This is the question. Can you see my screen now?
Sir,
Can you see my screen?
So,
date
Started with
start
numerical
21 అని ఉంది కదా
data statement.
The data set name starting with the data set name starting with the two.
Start with numerical.
2021
Can we have like this one?
Started with numerical.
No, sir.
You should not have.
No, sir.
Start with
So this is
underscore
a-
or alphabet.
This is the one of the interview question that we got. Yes, we have other errors also in this program. We have around 10 errors, but this is the error that you can identify right now. Okay, and we'll discuss about that other errors later. This is how we are going to get questions in the interview. When you have an interview, they're going to share the screen. They will ask you, they will show you the code, or they will ask you to write the code. This is the code they're shown to us. And they asked one of our students, can you tell me what are the errors that we have? Can you say, look at the code? Can you identify any errors or the problem that you can see here? So here they started the data set name 2021. You should not start with a data set name with a numerical value, isn't it? Now that is a sample question that
Yes,
I
sir.
have shown. Now, yes, on my desktop, I have SAS folder. In the SAS folder, I have SAS data folder. In that, I have a text file called demo1, and I want to create a data set from this one. You know about this text file. I want to create a data set from this one. Now, if you want to create a data set from text file also, what is the program you will write? We will write the data step. What is a data step? If you start your program with the keyword of data, that is called data step. Now, once you have written the data, then what you will write? You will write data set name. Now we have written the data set name. End of the statement, semicolon. Now I'm going to specify in file, and then I'm going to specify path of the text file. Then I'm going to specify input. Now I'm writing empid, then name character variable dollar symbol, age sex character variable dollar symbol, then salary and location character variable dollar symbol, semicolon run. We know the data. That's why I'm writing variable names without showing the data. But in the real time, you should see the data. According to that only, you should write the variable names, right? Now I'm selecting this program and executing this program. Now in this program also, what we have? We have a data statement. So this is a data step. I told you a data step always starts with a data statement. And what is the main reason, purpose of a data statement? How we can define our data statement? To specify the data set a name or to give a data set name. Very good. Now, not only to write the name, depends upon our requirement. In the data statement, we will write a few options. This is alphabet, no? Don't you think these are alphabets?
Yes, sir. We can
You
write
mean
any kind of
ABC?
alphabets, right?
Yes, any. You can start with alphabet or underscore.
Okay.
Now, in the data statement, depends upon our requirement, we will write few options. In which statement I am writing these options? In which statement I am writing?
Data statement. Data statement.
Data statement. That's why these options are called data statement options, because I am writing these options in the data statement. We call it as a data statement options. And we always write these options after the data a data set options. Since we are writing those options in the data statement, we call it as a data statement options. Since we always write these options after the data set name, we also call it as a data set options. What are the options that we have? Why we read these options? Now we'll discuss about those options. Okay, the first option that we have is keep is equal to. What is the first option? Keep is equal to. First of all, we will write the program, then you only can explain what is the definition of the keep option. Now tell me, I'm taking the same program again, but I want to create a data set called DS1. I'm deleting my previous data sets to avoid any unnecessary confusion. Now I'm writing data DS1. Now tell me, if I execute this program, what is the data set I'm going to have in the work library? What is the data set I'm going to have?
DS1.
Yes, very good. Now, if I execute this program, yes, we are going to have a DS1 data set. Now, can you tell me how many variables I'm going to have in the data set?
5.
5, sir.
5 variables. Because in the input statement, very good. Because in the input statement, I had given 5 variables. Now, in the DS1 data set, we are going to have 5 variables. And how many observations we are going to have?
3 observations.
3 observations, because in the program I have 3 records. So now we are going to have 3 observations, 5 variables and 3 observations. But just remember, when I'm creating this DS1 data set, I do not require all the 5 variables. So I want to have only ID and salary. I want to have only ID and salary. Now, if you want to have only 2 variables, you know what we should do? Now, data set name, and after that, you should open the parenthesis. Generally, people might have called it as a bracket, but the correct technical, right technical word is parenthesis. Understand this one? You should use a keyword called parenthesis. Now, I open the parenthesis, then we should write, now we should use an option called keep is equal to. Now, what are the variables I want to have? I want to have only two variables, which is ID and salary. Now, you should write a variable name ID space, and I want to have a salary. Now, I'm getting the salary. Now, since you open the parenthesis one time, now you should write the variable name ID space,
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Sir.
One second, I lost the power connection. I'm going to connect through hotspot. Give me 1 second. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Am I audible, you guys? Give me 1 second. No?
Yes, sir.
I don't know why somewhere reason the hotspot is not recognizing. Was it raining in your places today?
Yes, sir, very hardly.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm back. Yeah. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, yes, I want to have only two variables. Now I'm writing keep is equal to the variable names that what I want to have. And how many times you open the parenthesis, you should close those many times. Since I opened the parenthesis one time, what we should do, we need to close the parenthesis one time. Now select this program and execute this program. Even the data set contains values for 5 variables. Since in the data statement, I have written keep is equal to ID and sal. Now see, if I open this data set, yes, I'm going to have only 2 variables. Understand this one? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Now,
if we keep name means there also we should mention dollar symbols.
yes, I will tell you that one. Now tell me, if I execute this program, now I want to create a data set. Now tell me, if I execute this program, what is the data set I'm going to have? I will let's say, for example, EMP. Now tell me, if I execute this program, what is the data set I'm going to have? EMP, very good. But in the EMP data set, how many variables I'm going to have?
5 variables.
Sir.
Sir.
6 variables.
6 variables.
6 variables.
6
But in the
variables.
EMP data set, I do not want to have all the 6 variables. I want to have EMP ID, name, and salary. EMP ID, name, and salary. Then what we should do? Now data set name,
After
data set name, open the parenthesis,
EMP
keep is equal to, I want to have EMP ID, I want to have a name, and I want to have a salary, and close. And somebody try to write a dollar symbol of the name, you no need to write a dollar symbol. We write the dollar symbol only when we are reading the data in the input statement. But once you read the data into data set, you no need to write a dollar symbol after the character variable. And one more thing, between the variables, when you're writing a multiple variables, between the variables, you should keep at least one space. Understand this one? If you're writing more than one variable, between the variables, you should have at least one space. Somebody is opened their mic. We are getting background noise from them. Naresh, yeah, thank you. Now, if I select the program and execute the program, now we are going to have EMP data set. How many variables we can see now in the EMP data set?
3 variables.
Only 3 variables. Now, I want to create a data set called class. Now I'm writing a data class, semicolon.
I have a doubt here.
Set. Yes.
Sir, if we change the alignment in keep option, I mean when you are trying to
You can write in any order. Say for example, if you write the location first, then the sex, then say for example, salary again, not a problem. You can write the variables in any order. Now also I'm going to have a location, sex, and salary, but it's not a problem at all.
My question was, will the alignment change? Will a location come first? In that way, I was
No. Since in the data we have how we have the data. Remember, this is how we have data, right?
Yes.
Because of this, in the input statement, what is the order I had given? I had given EMP ID first, then name, age, sex, salary, location. So that's why we are going to have only in that order. Since even though I specified the location first, sex later, then salary, first since we have sex will come first, then you will get the salary, and then you will get the location. But in future, if you want to have variables in our specific order, we write a different statement called retain. By using the retain statement, you can shuffle the order. You can have whatever the order you want to have. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Okay. Now, here I'm creating a data set called class, and I'm creating this data set. In the SAS help library, we have a data set called class. From that, I'm creating a class data set. Now, can somebody tell me what is the data set I'm creating here?
Class.
Very good. And where this data set will be get created?
Work library.
Very good, work library. Because I had given one level, yes, I had given one level naming. So this will be get created in the work library. See, I'm executing this program. Yes, we have a class data set in the work library. I'm trying to open this. Now, can you see how many variables we have?
5 variables.
5 variables. Name,
19
sex, age, height, and weight. Very good.
Height.
We have 5 variables and 19 observations, right? But remember, in the new data set class in the work library, I do not want to have all the 5 variables. I want to have only name, height, and weight. I want to have only 3 variables: name, height, and weight. So then what should I do? Now, again, data set name, open the parenthesis, keep is equal to, I want to have a name variable, I want to have a height variable, and I want to have a weight variable. And then, what will happen if you don't close the parenthesis? You might get a question, doubt. Now see, without closing the parenthesis, I'm trying to execute the program. Now I'm not getting any data set. So I want to know what exactly happened. I told you, whenever you execute the program related information will come into log window. Now I'm going to the log window. Now can you see in the log window, I have an error. Can you see what is the error that I have? Missing right parenthesis for the data set option list. What we are missing? Right parenthesis. Expecting a right parenthesis. Now I'm going back to the program. Now why I know that what is my mistake. Now I'm closing the parenthesis now by keeping a right parenthesis. Now select the program, execute the program. Yes, we are going to have a class data set. Now can you see, instead of 5 variables, now I'm getting only 3 variables because in the keep option, I specified only 3 variables. Now, by seeing these examples, can you tell me what is the definition that we can write now for keep option? What is the definition that we can write?
Specifies variables.
Specifies
Specific variables.
Specify the
that variables that we want to keep in the final data set. In the final data set, whatever the variable that you want to keep, to specify that variable, so what is the option that we use now?
Keep option.
Keep option. So keep option is useful to specify or to select the variables that we want to keep in the final data set. Understand this one? In the real time, what I'm going to do, instead of writing a keep option here, first of all, I will create the EMP data set. Okay. Now, in the work library, I have EMP. Tell me in the EMP, how many variables I have?
6 variables.
6 variables.
Variables.
Now, from this EMP, I want to create EMP1. There, I want to have EMP ID, sex, and location. Now, can you tell me, somebody, what is the program I should write? I want to have EMP ID, sex, and location. Data
EMP1.
Set. First of all, we write the program like this one. Set EMP run.
Okay, sir.
Now, open the parenthesis.
Parenthesis keep equal to
Keep is equal to
EMP ID.
EMP ID.
EMP ID, sex,
Location.
location.
Close parenthesis.
So, do you want me to execute the program?
No, sir.
Do you want me to execute the program? Why?
No, sir.
Variable name change.
Because
So
we didn't
because
keep
of,
any variable.
Location.
Because you guys said location, I have written location, but there is no location variable. You should have only LOC because we have only LOC. Okay. Now you should be careful. And I'm selecting the program, executing the program. Yes, we have a EMP1. Now can you see in the EMP1 what we have? Only EMP ID, sex, and location, because these are the 3 variables I specified in the keep is equal to option. Understand this one, everybody? No doubts, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
is this keep option applicable for Excel sheet?
Manvi,
All files.
where we should write this data set, where we are writing this option? In which statement?
Data statement.
Data statement.
So how you import an Excel sheet?
Okay, proc statement.
Proc input.
But still,
Okay, sir. Proc.
yes, still, but Manvi, you can use there also. Okay, we can use keep option in the proc import also. I will discuss about that one tomorrow's class. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
But generally, we write the data where we write the keep option in the data statement.
Then
Okay.
what about data steps, sir?
This is the data step, right? ఈ 3 స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ని కలిపితే డేటా స్టెప్ అంటాం. అందులో ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఏంటి?
Yes, sir.
Data statement.
డేటా స్టేట్మెంట్. ఈ మొత్తం ప్రోగ్రామ్ డేటా స్టెప్ అంటాం.
Data statement.
ఈ మొత్తం ప్రోగ్రామ్ డేటా స్టెప్ అంటే ఇందులో ఫస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ డేటా స్టేట్మెంట్ అంటాం. Now
Data statement. Yes, sir.
yes sir. Now Sunny, am I audible to you? Sunny Patil. Okay, that's fine. And okay.
No.
Okay, Akila, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm giving a task to you. I want to create EMP2. In the EMP2, I want to have EMP ID and I want to have a name. Then I want to have a sex variable, age variable, and salary variable. Can you tell me the program? I'm going to write whatever you say. Tell me what should I do. Data
Is EMP2
EMP2
semicolon.
semicolon.
I have to copy it, sir.
I don't know what you are going to do.
Okay, set
Set
EMP
EMP
semicolon run
semicolon run
semicolon.
run semicolon.
Beside EMP2 open parenthesis.
Open the parenthesis.
Keep is equal to
Keep is equal to
EMP ID
EMP ID
name
name
sex age and salary.
sex age and salary. Do you want me to keep a dollar symbol after the name and sex?
No, sir. Not.
No. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Now, if I execute the program, now we have EMP2. Now, can you tell me how many variables we are going to have in the EMP2?
5 variables, sir.
5, sir.
5
Five,
variables.
sir, five.
And yes, we have the 5 variables. Okay, that's great. Now, in the EMP, how many variables we have?
6 variables.
6 variables. Out of the 6 variables, so how many variables I'm keeping in the EMP2 now?
5 variables.
So that means which variable I'm not keeping?
Location.
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 Now, instead of saying that I want to have 5, now I'm going to write the same program in a different way. Now I'm writing data. I want to have EMP3 semicolon. Set, I'm creating from EMP semicolon, run. Now open the parenthesis. Now I'm going to write an option called drop is equal to LOC. Now what is the drop option do? What is the drop option can do?
We can
It
stop
drops,
that.
it drops the variables that you specified after the is equal to symbol. Now tell me, if I execute this program, what are the variables that I'm going to have in the EMP3?
EMP ID name.
Now, so that means when you're copying all the variables from EMP to EMP3, all the variables will be get copied except
Location.
location, because I'm saying that the drop location. So drop option, it excludes variables from the final data set. Now in this scenario, which one is better?
Drop option.
Drop option. But you say, no, I'm going to use keep option. If you want, you can write the keep option. But if you write a keep option, how many variables you should write? You should write 5 variables.
Five
But if you write a drop option, writing 1 variable is enough. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, I want to create EMP4. Okay? In the EMP4, I do not want to have, salary and location. Now can you tell me how we can write the program? I do not want to have salary and location.
Drop equal
Drop equals
Drop is equal to
Drop is equal to
sal-
We have to open the parenthesis. You should tell open the parenthesis. Drop is equal to
Shall
sal
Salary.
space
Shall space
LOC.
shall location.
Location.
Close
close the
the
parenthesis.
parenthesis.
Select the
Now
program.
select the
And run.
program, execute the program.
Execute.
Now, yes, we are going to have EMP4. Now, how many variables I'm going to have, by the way, in the EMP4?
3, sir.
Four.
I'm going to have 4.
Four, sir. Four total.
Four, sir.
Four variables,
Out
sir.
of yes, out of 6, I'm dropping 2 variables. So now I'm going to have the remaining 4 variables. Now, how we can explain the drop option now? Can you define the drop option in our own words?
Exclude. Specifies.
It specifies the variables.
The variables that we
That
don't
need to be
don't
excluded.
want to keep.
The variables that specify the variables that we want
To
to
exclude.
that we want to drop or exclude. Understand this one? Now, one final
Is
time.
it only for the variables or it applies for observations also?
No
and drop.
variables. So far, we are discussing only variables. No, we'll discuss about observations later. Okay, that's a good question. We'll see that one later. Now, I want to create a class 1 data set. I'm creating this from sasl.class. Okay. Now, first of all, I will execute this program. I will show you class 1. But tell me, I do not want to have height and weight in this data set. Tell me, what should I do?
Data.
Already have a class 1.
After class 1.
Open the parenthesis.
Drop.
Drop is equals to
Whatever.
height. Close the parenthesis.
Now select the program. Execute the program. Now both height and weight will be get dropped. So we are going to have only the remaining variables, which is name, sex, and age. Now, generally, when you will write a keep option and when you will write the drop option, I will tell you, I have a master data set. Okay? I have a master data set which contains 100 variables. Now, I want to create a new data set, one, in that I want to have only 10 variables. Is it a keep, writing a keep option is a good idea, or writing a drop option is a good idea? Why keep option?
We can
If you write the keep option, you need to specify only 10 variables, right?
Yes, sir.
But if you write the drop option,
90 variables.
if you write the drop option, you have to mention 90 variables. You have to write a 90. So if you say, yes, I want a drop, you can write if you want to drop. But if you write a drop, you need to mention, you need to specify all the 90 variables, which is not a good idea. The length, the more the length of the program, the more typing errors you are going to have. So the length of the program always directly proportional to the typing errors. So that's why we should always write as short as possible. లేదు నేను ఇక్కడ డ్రాప్ రాస్తాను అనుకోండి, up to you, you can write the drop option also.
Yes.
Now, I have one more scenario. I want to create a new data set called 2. Now, in this new data set, I want to have 90 variables. I want to have 90 variables, which is a good idea according to you.
You can drop 10.
Drop.
Drop 10.
In this scenario, writing a drop option is a good idea because if you write a keep option, how many you need to mention?
90.
90.
90.
And if you write the drop, how many should mention?
10.
10. In this scenario, writing a drop option is a better
Drop
idea.
option is, yeah.
Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm going to give in a final question. Now, in the EMP, I will show you again one more time EMP. We have, 6 variables. We have 6 variables. Now, from this, I want to create a new data set called EMP1. In that, what I want to have? I want to have EMP ID. I'm telling, I want to have EMP ID, name, age, and salary. EMP ID, name, age, and salary. Tell me, what is our best solution?
In that case, you should
Drop
drop
options.
two options.
Set
EMP,
EMP.
RAM.
Set EMP.
Hmm.
After data
After
set,
EMP1, you should go for
parenthesis,
drop
space, sal.
Location.
and location.
Hmm.
Close parenthesis, and you should run
But
and
tell
execute
me-
the program.
But tell me, if I want to write a keep option, what should I do?
You should mention all the four variables what you want to require.
Four variables.
You have to mention all the four variables. So in that scenario, I have to write keep is equal to
Keep equal
EMPID,
EMPID
name, age, and salary. Close.
salary.
But in the real time, what you will do? I want to create a cars1 data set from sashelp.class, sashelp.cars. Okay. So I'm writing the program data cars1 semicolon set sashelp.cars.
semicolon, consider.
But I'm telling you, I want to have a variable called make, I want to have a variable called model, and I want to have a variable called invoice, and I want to have type also. What do you want me to write?
Options.
Keep option.
Keep. You should use
Why keep option?
Keep up.
Why not?
because we are not dropping anything. We want we want many what we want.
How do you know that we are not dropping anything?
We don't know
How do you know?
Yeah, you didn't tell me to. You didn't tell us to remove anything.
You didn't ask me, no?
How many variables is there? How many variables we need?
Because now you don't know what variables that we have in sashelp. But I told you what I want to have. Tell me, just imagine in the sashelp.class cars, if you have 5 variables, which is a good idea?
Drop.
Option.
Drop. But in the sashelp.cars, I have 15 variables.
Keep is
Then what is the better idea?
Keep.
Since you do not know what we have here, always better to go with only keep. Keep is equal to I want to have a make, I want to have a model, and I want to have a type, and I want to have invoice. Now close the parenthesis. Now select the program and execute the program. Yes, we are going to have cars1, and yes, I'm going to have the 4 variables. Actually, in the sashelp.cars, I didn't show you we have 15 variables. Okay. Anyway, and out of 15, I want to have only 4. If you don't know, or also keep is a better idea here always.
Yes, sir.
Understand this one? This is about keep and drop option.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm creating a data set called EMP1 from EMP. Okay. Now I'm writing the program data EMP1 semicolon set EMP. Anybody knows what variables I'm going to have in the EMP1? Anybody?
Sorry, EMP.
6 variables. Very good.
6 variables.
EMP ID,
Yeah, ID, name,
Salary, location.
very good. I think
Only 4
Monica, we're getting background noise. When you're listening class, please be sitting alone, okay, in isolated area. Because if you have background noise now, it is going to disturb others, please. Okay. Now, if I execute this program, I'm going to have EMP1. In that EMP1, I'm going to have 6 variables. So in the 6 variables, you know what variables I'm going to have. Yes, I want to have 6 variables. No, I'm not writing either keep or drop. But the response is asking, while creating EMP1, I do not want to have variable as 6. I want to have it as a gender. It doesn't want to have it as a variable name 6. What he wants to have? He wants to have it as a gender. Then what we need to do in that scenario, we need to rename the variable.
replace.
We need to rename the variable. To rename the variable, we are going to use a statement called, we are going to use an option called rename is equal to. What this rename is equal to can do? It renames variable names permanently. It renames variable names permanently. So how we can use this option? data set name, open the parenthesis. What is the option I should use now? Rename is equal to.
Rename equal to.
This is a little bit different. Please observe carefully. Rename is equal to, open the parenthesis again. Old name is equal to new name. What is the old name that we have?
Sex.
Sex. Is equal to how? What is the new name I want to have?
Gender.
Gender. How many times you open the parenthesis?
2 times.
2 times.
No, you should close the parenthesis 2 times. Please observe, listen carefully. Data set name, open the parenthesis. Rename is equal to, again open the parenthesis. Now old name is equal to new name and close the parenthesis 2 times. Now select the program and execute the program. Yes, we are going to have EMP1 data set, and yes, we are going to have all the 6 variables. But can you see how we have the sex now?
Gender.
We have renamed it as a gender. This is how we are going to rename a variable name permanently. It is going to rename permanently. Understand this one?
Yes.
Now, I want to create EMP2. I want to rename Sal as income. Sal as income.
Okay.
Tell me how to write the program. Data EMP2 set EMP semicolon. The data set, open the parenthesis. Rename equal to
Open parenthesis.
Sal.
open the parenthesis.
Income.
Close the parenthesis. And how many times I should close it? 2 times. Very good. Now I'm selected. My screen is not visible.
Now it is visible.
Now visible.
Yeah. Now select the program and execute the program. Now we are going to have EMP2. Now can you see in the EMP2 what I have? I have 6 variables. But how we have the salary now? Income. Very good.
Sir, here we got income in the lower case, no, sir. If we keep it in the uppercase, then we will get in uppercase.
Uppercase.
Sir, we can change. We can rename only social.
Pardon? Come again?
Rename అనేది ఒకసారి చేంజ్ చేసుకోవాలా సార్?
ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఒకసారి చేంజ్ చేస్తాం. మళ్ళీ కావాలంటే మీరు మళ్ళీ చేసుకోవచ్చు in the next program.
Sir, can we
Now I got-
two or 3 variables renaming?
Yes. I'm coming over there. Now I want to rename same time sex as gender. Okay. Sal as income. Okay. And the third one, LOC as address. So how many variables I want to rename now? 3 variables in one program.
Variables.
3 variables. Okay. Now how we can do that one? Now I'm writing data. I want to create EMP3 set. I'm creating from EMP. Now semicolon run. Okay. Now data set name. I'm opening the parenthesis now. Now what I should do? Rename is equal to, open the parenthesis. So what is the first variable I want to?
Sex equal to gender.
Sex is equal to gender. Now you should give 1 space. Next variable, sal is equal to
Salary is equals to income.
income. Very good. Space.
Location is equals
LOC
to
is equal
address.
to
Location equal to address.
address. And close the parenthesis.
2 times.
Very good. Now select the program. Execute the program. Now we are going to have EMP3. Open that. Now can you see? Sex has been renamed as a gender. Sal has been renamed as an income. And LOC has been renamed as an
Address.
Address.
You'll get one more. You should get one more question. Now, so since you didn't get the question, I'm asking you. I want to create EMP4. Okay. In the EMP4, I want to have EMP ID. I want to have a name and I want to have a salary. But I want to rename Sal as income. What should I do now? What is our?
We have to use
What is our?
Data.
keep
First of all, give me an idea.
We need
What should I
to
do?
use two options, sir.
Can we use
What are those?
use keep?
Keep and rename.
Very good. We should use now keep and rename together because I want to keep few variables and I want rename one variable. Understand? That means you can use keep and rename together. How to use it? Now data. Now I want to create emp4 semicolon set. I want to create it from the emp semicolon run. Okay. Now data set name. My best suggestion for you. Sometimes you will get unbalanced parentheses. You'll forget to close the parentheses properly. What you should do? Best way of writing a program: open and close the parentheses at the same time.
Yes, sir.
Now what we should do? Go in between that. Now what we should do? Keep is equal to. I want to have empid,
ID,
name
Name, salary.
and salary. Now give one space. Now we should write rename is equal to.
rename equal to
Again, open the parentheses and close the parentheses.
Salary.
Then go there.
salary equal
Is equal to.
Income.
This is the best way of writing a program. Open and close the parentheses at the same time, so you will
There
not
is
forget
a
to
space
close the
between
parentheses.
the closing two parentheses.
Here, there's no space.
Okay.
Even though you have a space, not a problem. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now execute the program. Yes, we have emp4. And now can you say, yes, I kept only 3 variables and I renamed one variable with another name. Now one final example. I want to have all the variables except location. Okay. And I want to rename sex as gender. Okay. And sal as income. Then tell me what should I do?
Drop option.
Drop and rename.
Drop and name both are.
Tell me, whatever you say, I'm going to write it.
Data,
EMP5,
EMP5.
semicolon,
Semicolon set EM. Run.
After that,
Open the parenthesis.
drop,
close the parentheses.
drop,
Drop is equal to
location,
To location.
rename,
Rename is equals to.
open and close,
salary.
Open the parenthesis. Sex is equals to gender.
salary.
Salary is equals to income.
Very good. Now select the program and execute the program. Now we are going to have emp5. Open that. Yes, I dropped one variable and I renamed 2 variables. This is how we are going to use rename along with either keep or drop. By the way, we never write both keep and drop in one program, isn't it? It doesn't make any sense, right? You cannot write the same time keep and drop. Either you can keep or drop. You can't write both together. Clear, everybody? So in today's class, we started with the data step. In the data step, we started with the data statement. And I told you the major purpose of the data statement is to specify a data set name. And after the data set name depends upon our requirement, we write a few options. And since we are writing these options in the data statement, we call it as a data statement options. And so far, we have seen keep option, drop option, and the rename option.
Rename.
Okay. And we'll see the remaining options in tomorrow's class. Okay. See you tomorrow.
Sir,
See you tomorrow. Yes. Go ahead.
Sir, while exporting the dataset as a text document, the
Mhm.
alignment is missing, sir.
Yes, element will not be so. Maximize it. No, you can understand. Maximize it so you'll get the alignment. Okay. Generally, you will have a tab space between the values. Because you minimize it so you have minimized the text file. That's why you can't see the alignment. But if you maximize the text file, everything will go into
the
bin.
editor window.
What is that?
Editor window. I just want to see the program.
Sir, one question. Does field label and SAS label mean same, sir?
Come again, I didn't get you.
Field label and SAS label, both are same.
SAS label, field. I didn't
Yeah,
get you. What you mean by field? Where did you get the field label?
Field label means while building the study, I mean, when the study build, we give a field name as some with 8 characters, and SAS label is
Field
something
name. No, you mean the value, data value.
not value, sir. Let's say we have, as per CDISC standards, we have a field name as sex, and the SAS label would be something from
See,
CDISC
see, see.
standard.
Don't get confused. That is not called SAS label. That is a variable label. Variable name, variable label. According to series guidelines, the name length should be less than or equal to 8. So here we are writing a variable names like EMPID, name, salary, right?
Yes, yes.
When you're writing a variable name, according to series guidelines, it has to be less than or equal to 8 characters.
Okay.
But you can apply the label, you can have a label up to 40 characters.
Okay. So, okay, we are renaming the variable, not the field name.
Variable. No. Don't say there is no field such, there is no technical word like field. I don't know what you mean by field. See, what you mean by field? If I open the EMP data set, what do you mean by field here? Give me an example so that I can understand.
Like while building the study, we give the field name, sir. So which is similar to the
No,
SAS
there is
variable.
no build. See, this is a data set, okay?
Okay.
In this, which one is the field, according to you?
No, we don't have any
See,
field here.
No, the thing is, when you are you always submit the clinical trial data to FDA and CDs as a data set, okay?
Oh yes.
You should submit as a data set. So this is a data set. Think a data set nothing but a table, right? So
Yes.
now in this EMP ID is a variable name. According to CD's guidelines, a variable name should be less than or equal to 8 characters. Here you can write the label in future. You can have the label up to 40 characters.
Okay.
A label is an alias name, a temporary name that you can give it to dataset. How we have alias names or nicknames? In the same way, we can also give the label to the variable.
Okay. So will that be put here, sir? The label when we are.
Come again?
Will we get the label also, sir, when we are extracting?
Yeah, we'll get that one. And we'll see that one, how to give a label, how to write the label, how to change the label. We'll see that from it.
I have a doubt.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Since we have used that keep and rename in one data statement, data step, so that can we able to use keep and drop at one place?
No, that's what I'm telling you. You cannot use at the same time. Either you can keep or you can drop. You can't do both at the same time.
Okay.
మీరు కావాలంటే వేరియబుల్ ఇస్తారు, వద్దనుకొని డ్రాప్ చేస్తారు, అంతేగాని ఒకేసారి కీప్ డ్రాప్ చేయలేం కదా.
ఓకే, అప్పుడు మనం కీప్ అండ్ రీనేమ్ ఒకేసారి యూజ్ చేసాం కాబట్టి అలాగే డ్రాప్ అండ్ రీనేమ్ యూజ్ చేయవచ్చా ఒకేసారి?
We have seen that example also, no? See?
Okay. Okay,
sir.
Yes.
In the SAS help, having all the SAS data sets, no sir?
Yes.
We can convert CSV, Excel, we can convert that files SAS data sets, sir. We can convert into text files, sir.
Yes, we can do.
Actually, you are writing editor, no sir, editor, that is a text file, no sir. You are writing part, that is text, no sir.
Yes.
Save. I have tried to open in the SAS data set is there in the SAS, sir. That file I saved already. What I written all this data, I have saved.
I got it. You know, the problem with that, when you say, for example, tell me which one you're talking about. Say for example, give me 1 second.
All the programs I saved in this SAS, sir. I have to convert into again another format. Is it the SAS document? No, sir. A text file also you can SAS document is there. SAS environment is there. So I can convert again to another. Means it's not possible.
Say for example, if you're talking about a file like this one, say.
Yes, sir.
Not this one. Not this one.
Yesterday in the message in the WhatsApp you sent, sir, some programs.
Okay.
That
I have sent all that.
What you written, some comments and programs.
Okay, all those are code. No, that is a code, right?
Yes, sir. That is a text file, no, sir. Actually.
Yes, that is, yeah, I see. You cannot open the code in the WhatsApp. That's why I copied all the code into a text file and I put that into WhatsApp group. Because a text file can be opened in the mobile also, no? You cannot open SAS code in mobile.
Same like you, sir. I have also saved my program, sir. Like personal details
Okay.
I saved. SAS dataset is showing, sir. Actually, so the file extension type is SAS dataset. Is showing.
Dataset.
Yes, sir. SAS
See,
dataset.
this is a text file.
Yes, sir.
These are text files, right? So it is going to have a .txt.
Yes, sir.
How a dataset is going to be? A dataset is going to be something like this. Say, for example, SAS. Dataset looks like this one.
Yes, sir. I know, sir.
This is SAS dataset.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then you have dataset or a text file.
In the inside of file, content of program, sir. Like you like daily you write, no, sir. Programs, comments, and like that. I also
That is the program. Program looks like this one. This is program. This is SAS program.
Okay.
But this is SAS dataset. Yeah, this run symbol is a person is running in mode. No, this is SAS code. The extension will be .SAS.
Okay. But it is in the form of SAS dataset, not program. Programs also.
Then that is a dataset.
That is set data. Okay. I try to convert it is not getting, sir. Like text to file conversion.
If you have a dataset, no, you cannot do. How we can get a dataset into SAS? Wherever you have the dataset, you create a library for that one. You should create a library to that folder. So then you'll get the dataset into SAS.
Okay, understand. It's a two conversion different.
Or otherwise, tomorrow share the screen so that I can help you.
Sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, రావట్లేదు సార్ రిజల్ట్.
ఏది రావట్లేదు మీకు? ప్రాక్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్
చేసే రిజల్ట్ రావట్లేదు సార్.
ఏం కోడ్ రాసారో చెప్తారా?
బేస్ బాల్ రాసారు.
ఏం కోడ్ చెప్పండి కోడ్ ఏం రాశారు ఒకసారి నాకు ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా.
ప్రాక్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ డేటా ఈక్వల్ టు బేస్ బాల్ సాస్ హెల్ప్ లో నుంచి తీసుకొని రాయమన్నారు కదా సార్. అది
మీరు ఏం రాసారు చెప్తే నేను రాస్తాను ఇక్కడ.
సాస్ హెల్ప్ డాట్ బేస్ బాల్.
ఓకే, సాస్ హెల్ప్ డాట్ బేస్ బాల్. వెరీ గుడ్. దాన్ని ఏం రాశారు?
అవుట్ ఫైల్.
ఓకే, వెరీ గుడ్. అవుట్ ఫైల్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు
కాపీ చేసి పాస్ చేస్తుంటే దాంట్లో నా కాపీ.
మీరు ఏం చేశారో నాకు చెప్పండి. ఏం చేశారు ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా ఏం చేశారో అది చెప్పండి.
అవుట్ ఫైల్ లో కాపీ చేసి పాస్ రావట్లేదు సార్.
ఎవరు కాపీ చేసి పాతు? ఎక్కడ తీసుకున్నారు లొకేషన్?
సాస్ హెల్ప్ లోది.
సాస్ హెల్ప్ ఇక్కడ రాస్తారు కదా సాస్. ఇప్పుడు అవుట్ ఫైల్ ఏం రాస్తాం? ఎక్కడికి పంపించాలో ఆ లొకేషన్ డెస్టినేషన్ రాయాలి. ఇప్పుడు అంటే మీరు ఎక్కడ సేవ్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నారు ఇప్పుడు బేస్బాల్ డేటా సెట్ ని?
మైసాస్ లో.
మైసాస్ ఎక్కడ?
డెస్క్టాప్ మీద న్యూ ఫోల్డర్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకొని దాంట్లో
అదిగో న్యూ ఫోల్డర్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తారు. ఏం ఫోల్డర్ క్రియేట్ చేశారు?
మైసాస్.
మై
సాస్.
అదిగో సాస్ క్రియేట్ చేశారు. నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేశారు?
అది కాపీ చేసి పాస్ చేసుకొని లిప్ నేమ్ ఇచ్చి అక్కడ మళ్ళీ ఓపెన్ చేసుకో.
చూడండి లిబ్ నేమ్ రాస్తే లైబ్రరీలో ఏం సేవ్ చేస్తాం? లైబ్రరీలో ఏం సేవ్ చేస్తాం? లైబ్రరీలో ఏం సేవ్ చేస్తాం చెప్పండి? సాస్ డేటా సెట్స్ సేవ్ చేస్తాం. ప్రాక్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ డేటా సెట్స్ కోసం కదా. డేటా సెట్ ని ఎక్సెల్ షీట్ కింద పంపించడానికో. అంటే ప్రాక్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ ఎందుకు రాస్తాం తెలుసా? మీ దగ్గర సాస్ డేటా సెట్ ఉందనుకోండి, వర్క్ లైబ్రరీ మీ దగ్గర ఇందాక నా చూడండి సాస్ హెల్ప్ లైబ్రరీ ఉంది. సాస్ హెల్ప్ లైబ్రరీలో బేస్బాల్ ఉంది. ఏంటది? బేస్బాల్ డేటా సెట్ అది. ఓకేనా? ఇప్పుడు ఈ డేటా సెట్ ని ప్రాక్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ రాసి ఏం చేస్తాం చెప్పండి? ప్రాక్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ రాస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? మీ డెస్క్టాప్ మీదకి CSV ఫైల్ కిందో లేదా ఎక్సెల్ షీట్ కిందో లేకపోతే కనుక టెక్స్ట్ ఫైల్ కింద వెళ్తుంది. లేదనుకోండి MS యాక్సెస్ ఫైల్ కింద పంపిస్తాం.
MS యాక్సెస్ రావట్లేదు సార్.
MS యాక్సెస్ రాదు, పక్కన పెట్టండి. ఎందుకు రాదు కూడా చెప్పాను. ఎందుకంటే కంపాటిబిలిటీ ఇష్యూ ఉంది కాబట్టి రాదు, వదిలేసేయండి. మిగిలింది ఒక డేటా సెట్ ని మన డెస్క్టాప్ మీదకి సిఎస్వి ఫైల్ కింద కానీ ఎక్సెల్ షీట్ నో టెక్స్ట్ ఫైల్ కింద పంపించాలి అంటే ఏం ప్రొసీజర్ రాస్తాం? ఫ్రాక్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ రాస్తాం. ఓకేనా? ఇప్పుడు అవుట్ ఫైల్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు అంటున్నారు కదా, మీరు అవుట్ ఫైల్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు లొకేషన్ రాయాలి అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలంటే డెస్క్టాప్ లొకేషన్ ఇద్దాం ఉన్నారు అనుకోండి, డెస్క్టాప్ మీదకి వెళ్ళి ఏదో ఒక ఫైల్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి కాపీ అది పక్క తెచ్చుకోండి. మీరు నేను కాదన్ను. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ నాకు ఏదో డెమో ఉంది, షిఫ్ట్ రైట్ క్లిక్ కాపీ యాజ్ పాత్ తీసుకుంటున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు ప్రోగ్రామ్కి వెళ్ళి ఏం చేయాలి? ఇప్పుడు ఆ పాత్ను పేస్ట్ చేస్తారు. ఓకేనా? కానీ ఇక్కడ ఏముందో చూడండి, పాత్ డెస్క్టాప్ మీద ఏ నేమ్తో ఉంది ఇది? నాకు అలా వద్దు, నాకేం కావాలంటే ఇది కూడా బేస్బాల్ అనే కావాలి. ఇది ఒక బేస్బాల్ డాట్ సిఎస్వి అని కావాలనుకున్నాం. సిఎస్వి ఫైల్ కావాలి. ఇప్పుడు నెక్స్ట్ ఏం రాయాలి? ఇప్పుడు డిబిఎంఎస్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు సిఎస్వి రాయాలి. ఆల్రెడీ మీ డెస్క్టాప్ మీద బేస్బాల్ అనే సిఎస్వి ఫైల్ ఉందనుకోండి, రీప్లేస్ చేస్తారు. సో ఇప్పుడు ప్రాక్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేస్తే ఈ బేస్బాల్ డేటా సెట్ ఎలా సేవ్ అవుతుంది మీ డెస్క్టాప్ మీద? సిఎస్వి ఫైల్ కింద సేవ్ అవుతుందండి. ఇదిగో చూడండి, ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తున్నాను, ఇదిగో డెస్క్టాప్ మీదకి వెళ్తున్నాను. ఏముందో చూడండి, బేస్బాల్ ఏంటండి ఇది? సిఎస్వి ఫైల్. ప్రాక్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ డేటా సెట్ ని ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేయదు, సిఎస్వి ఫైల్ నో ఎక్సెల్ షీట్ నో టెక్స్ట్ ఫైల్ కింద ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేస్తుంది.
డేటా సెట్ ని మారుస్తుంది సార్,
డేటా సెట్ ని కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తుంది ఎక్సెల్ షీట్ కింద, సిఎస్వి ఫైల్ కింద లేదా టెక్స్ట్ ఫైల్ కింద ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేస్తుంది బయటికి.
నాకు అసలు రిజల్ట్ రావట్లేదు సార్, ఎర్రర్ చూపిస్తుంది.
మీరు అక్కడ ఏం రాస్తారు? లైబ్రరీ నేమ్ రాస్తున్నారు అంటున్నారు. లైబ్రరీ నేమ్ రాస్తే కుదరదు. అవుట్ ఫైల్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎక్సెల్ ఒక ఫైల్ లొకేషన్ రాయాలి మీరు.
ఇదే రాస్తున్నా సార్ నేను. వేరే ఇక్కడ మళ్ళా ఒక లైబ్రరీ క్రియేట్ చేసుకొని నా నేమ్ ఇచ్చి చేసుకోమన్నారు కదా, అట్లాగా. ఇక్కడ
ఇది లైబ్రరీ ఇవ్వడం ఇక్కడ కుదరదు. లైబ్రరీ ఎప్పుడు రాస్తాం? డేటా సెట్ నేమ్ ముందు రాస్తాం. ఇదిగో EMP5 రాశాను అనుకోండి, ఇప్పుడు మీ నేమ్తో మీరు ఏ లైబ్రరీ క్రియేట్ చేశారు చెప్పండి నాకు ఒకసారి. మీరు అనూషాని క్రియేట్ చేశారు అనుకోండి, డేటా సెట్ నేమ్ ముందు రాయాలి ఇక్కడ అనూష డాట్ EMP5 అని. ఇక్కడ డేటా సెట్ ఎక్కడ ఉంది? అవుట్ ఫైల్. ఇది అవుట్ ఫైల్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఇక్కడ డేటా సెట్ రాయం మనం. మీరేం చేస్తా చెప్పండి.
నేను చెప్తాను అది కాదు సార్, నేను ఈ సాస్ హెల్ప్ లో నుంచి నా డేటా నా లైబ్రరీలోకి తీసుకోవడానికి రావట్లేదు అంటున్నాను.
తీసుకునేటప్పుడు మీరు ప్రాక్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ రాయకూడదు. మీరు అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? ఇప్పుడు డేటా అనూష డాట్ బేస్బాల్, ఓకేనా? తర్వాత ఏం రాయాలి? ఇప్పుడు సెట్ సాస్ హెల్ప్ డాట్ బేస్బాల్ ఇలా రాయాలి. ఇప్పుడు సాస్ హెల్ప్ లైబ్రరీ ఉన్న బేస్బాల్ అనూష అనే లైబ్రరీ లోపల ఏ నేమ్ వెళ్తుంది? ఇప్పుడు బేస్బాల్ అనే నేమ్ వెళ్తుంది. ఓకేనా?
సార్ ఇలా చేస్తుంటే అసలు అది ఓపెన్ అవ్వట్లేదు సార్. డేటా సెట్స్ ఆ ఫిష్ అవి ఓపెన్ అవ్వట్లేదు సార్.
చెప్పండి ఒక ఎక్సెల్ చెప్పండి ఎందుకు అవుతుంది. మీకు ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పండి, మీరు ఎక్కడ ఏం చేశారు?
ఎక్సెల్ కాదు సార్, ఇదే జస్ట్ కాపీ చేసాం సార్. డేటా నా లైబ్రరీలోకి తీసుకుంటే సాసెల్ఫ్ లోంచి హార్ట్ గా
చెప్పండి ఎలా చేశారు చెప్పండి. మీ లైబ్రరీ ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేశారు చెప్పండి. ఇదిగో నాకు ఇక్కడ మై సాస్ అనే ఫోల్డర్ ఉంది కదా, ఇదే మీరు ఏ నేమ్ తో ఫోల్డర్ క్రియేట్ చేసి ఉంటారు? ఏదో ఒక నేమ్ తో క్రియేట్ చేసి ఉంటారు కదా. షిఫ్ట్ రైట్ క్లిక్ కాపీ యాజ్ పాత్. ఏం రాశారు? వనజ అని రాశారా? లిబ్ నేమ్ వనజ ఫోల్డర్ పాత్. నెక్స్ట్ ఏం రాశారు చెప్పండి. ఇప్పుడు డేటా ఏం రాస్తారు? ఇప్పుడు వనజ డాట్ బేస్బాల్ సెట్. మీరు ఏం రాస్తారు? బేస్బాల్ కాకుండా ఇంకేం డేటా సెట్ తీసుకున్నారు వేరేది?
రాశాను సార్, ఫిష్ రాశాను, రెంట్ రాశాను. అసలు
ఇదిగో చూడండి, ఫిష్ రాస్తాను. వనజ డాట్ ఫిష్ సాస్ హెల్ప్ డాట్ ఫిష్. ఏం రాయమంటారు? సాస్ హెల్ప్ డాట్ ఫిష్. ఇదిగో చూడండి, ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఇప్పుడు నేను వనజ లైబ్రరీకి వెళ్తాను. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ వనజ లైబ్రరీ ఉందే నా దగ్గర, ఒకసారి ఇది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తాను చూడండి. వనజ లైబ్రరీ క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది. ఇదిగో వనజ క్రియేట్ అయింది. ఇదిగో ఇప్పుడు ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తున్నాను. సో డేటా సెట్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది? ఇప్పుడు ఇదిగో వనజ లైబ్రరీలో ఉందంటే ఎక్కడ ఉన్నట్టు అది?
డెస్క్టాప్ మీద మైసాస్.
ఇదిగో మైసార్. ఇదిగో ఇక్కడ ఉందిగా,
వచ్చింది.
దీన్ని క్లిక్ చేస్తుంటే ఓపెన్ అవ్వట్లేదా?
అవును సార్, అసలు రావట్లేదు. జీరో అబ్జర్వేషన్.
ఇదేం చెప్పండి? జీరో అబ్జర్వేషన్ ఉందా?
ఓపెన్ చేస్తుంటే ఇట్లా ఓపెన్ అవ్వట్లేదు సార్. ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇక్కడ వ్యూ టేబుల్ లో చూస్తాం కదా, ఓపెన్ అవ్వట్లేదు.
మీరు ఎక్కడ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తున్నారు?
ఇది సాస్ లో దీంట్లోనే సార్, నేను రిమోట్ డెస్క్టాప్ లో చేయట్లేదు, నార్మల్ గా
ఇక్కడే చేస్తున్నారు కదా?
అవును సార్.
ఇప్పుడు ల్యాప్టాప్ మీద ఉన్నారా?
అవును సార్ ఉన్నాను.
స్క్రీన్ షేర్ చేయండి ఒక జస్ట్ 1 minute లో చేస్తారా?
చేస్తాను సార్, ట్రై చేస్తాను.
చేయండి.
సార్ ఎక్సెల్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేస్తుంటే వేరియబుల్ నేమ్స్ అప్పుడప్పుడు రావట్లేదు సార్. డేట్ ఫార్మాట్
ఏ డేటా ఎవరిని ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేస్తారు? ఏ డేటా సెట్ ని?
సాస్ హెల్ప్ లో సిటీ అనే డేటా సెట్
సిటీమాన్
సార్.
ఓకే, ఎలా చేస్తారు చెప్పండి.
ప్రాక్ ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ డేటా ఈక్వల్ టు జనరల్ ఫస్ట్ ఒక ఫోల్డర్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నాను సార్ డెస్క్టాప్ మీద.
ఓకే,
అది పాత్ కాపీ చేసుకున్నాను. డేటా ఈక్వల్ టు జనరల్ ఫైల్ పేస్ట్ పాత్ పేస్ట్ చేశాను సార్. పేస్ట్ చేసి జనరల్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ రాశాను సార్. రాస్తే అయినా వేరియబుల్ నేమ్స్ ఒక్కటి రావట్లేదు. అదర్ దాన్ దట్ మిగతా
ఎలా ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేశారు? ఎక్సెల్ షీటా, సిఎస్వి ఫైల్ ఎలా చేశారు?
ఎక్సెల్ సార్.
వస్తుంది కంపల్సరీగా.
So same is the case with me, sir. So I tried to import a file from SAS help to onto from.
You try to import SAS help to?
And I have imported a file, then exported the file. The variable names are getting changed. Actually, I have shared the same issue in the WhatsApp also.
When?
Yesterday, sir.
Sir, as in the same case, I have a problem with text files, not with CSV or Excel, sir.
No. That means you have written wrong program. All you three.
Sir, I have exported from SAS help to external folder, and then I am trying to import the text file into the SAS dataset, sir.
One is a semicolon.
Semicolon.
But the variables are not coming into the data set, sir. Because of the pre-existing variables, column names in the text file.
Okay, since all you three have same problems, can somebody share the screen and write the code after one, sir?
Sir, it is not possible with me as I'm using remote desktop, sir.
Somebody can do that one. Not maybe you. Santosh, can you do that one?
సార్ నేను చేస్తాను.
If you could able to open the data set, no, you need to pay fine. ప్రోగ్రామ్ కరెక్ట్గా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయితే ఫైన్ పే చేయాలంటున్నా.
ఓకే, ఇది వచ్చింది సార్. వచ్చింది సార్.
100 రూపీస్ ఫైన్ సార్.
చేశాను సార్ నేను. జస్ట్ మినిట్ సార్, జస్ట్ మినిట్.
ఇప్పుడు కోడ్ ని డైరెక్ట్ గా క్లిక్ చేయమాకండి, సాస్ ఓపెన్ చేసి కంట్రోల్ ఓ ఇవ్వండి. దట్ ద బెస్ట్ ఐడియా. ఓపెన్ అయిందండి, ఒకసారి మినిమైజ్ చేయండి అది.
ఇది సార్ చేశాను సార్, ఇక్కడ చూడండి. ఇది ఇది
ఒకసారి ముందు లైబ్రరీ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయండి.
మార్నింగ్ ఎందుకో రాలేదు సార్.
That's okay. So
చాలా
sometimes.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ. మీరు
Okay, not a
కాబట్టి
problem.
వచ్చిందేమో సార్.
No.
మార్నింగ్ ఎంత చేసినా రాలేదు. ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Okay. Yeah, somebody wants to share. Somebody said.
ఎంత చేసినా రాలేదు మార్నింగ్.
సార్
Yes.
నాకు రాలేదు సార్ అవి.
You are sharing the screen.
సార్
Who is sharing the screen?
అనుష సార్.